So we are in the grade 12 subject, religion subject, social doctrine of the church. So I'm Father Christian Jesse M. Taliping, licentiate in sacred theology with orientation to moral and spiritual theology. So this subject is one of my expertise. So I'm also one of the supervisors handling supervising Divine Word High School of Danaili, License Mabulog, Our Lady of Fatima Learning Center, Lakapan Incorporated, and San Lorenzo Ruiz Educational Institute, Lasam. I'm also the school director and school chaplain of Divine Word High School of Danaili. So there are three ways to teach the social doctrine of the church. The first one is using the virtue of justice, because justice is defined as to give what is due to the other, and the social doctrine of the church or the social ethics is based on our giving what is due, what is minimum to the other, and that is justice. Because to give the maximum, that's love. No? So you can never give the maximum unless you give first the minimum. You can never love others unless you are not yet just. You don't give what is due to them, their rights. The second way to teach social doctrine of the church is using the social encyclicals, starting from Pope Leo the 13th until and up to now with Pope Francis, all the social encyclicals, papal teachings. And the third one is the second part of the Ten Commandments, because the second part of the Ten Commandments is love of neighbor, and that's what social ethics is all about. What is right and wrong, with loving our neighbor, with doing good, doing what is just, and doing what is charitable. So justice and love, they come together. You cannot give justice if you don't give love, and you cannot give love unless you give justice. What I will use here is basically using the number 3 to present the social doctrine of the church, using as only one reference, the CCCC, Compendium of the Social Doctrine of the Church. So basically, in my subjects in grade 10, in grade 11, grade 12, all my religion subjects, I only use one reference, and that is the Compendium of the Social Doctrine of the Church. No? It's the outline, it's a summary, and it's free using the Google search. Just Google Compendium of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. No? CCCC. So I made a mistake there. I put Compendium of the Social Doctrine of the Church. So that is another book, with some additions coming from other significant sources chosen by me, especially the Catechism of the Catholic Church. Why number 3? Because the second part of the Ten Commandments is all about loving one's neighbor. And the social doctrine of the church is about the right conduct according to reason and faith to society and one's fellow human beings. So these are the contents. In the first quarter, this is our goal, to study the human community. The fourth commandment, honor your father and your mother. The fifth commandment, you shall not kill. And the sixth commandment, you shall not commit adultery. So I don't know if we will be having time to finish all of these topics. But what's important is that we know the foundations, especially the human community. In the second quarter, or the second part of the first semester, we will try, if we can, to study the seventh commandment, you shall not kill. The eighth commandment, shall not bear false witness against your neighbor. The ninth commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's wife. And the eighth part is the 10th commandment, you shall not covet your neighbor's possessions. So if we cannot finish all of these things, at least you know, so that you can study it on your own. So my method is to advanced reading. So we will be giving the numbers so that you can have your advanced reading, and after that, There will be an exam and the lesson proper and then the exam. So in our performance task, this is my suggestion. Join one ministry in the parish, for example, music ministry, lectors and commentators, altar servers, youth ministry, campus ministry, collectors, cleaners, gardening ministry, etc. as your parish priest. Second, the mass attendance. Third is documentations of your sapang besh at the end of the quarter, pictures and reflections. And number 4, submission of your own purok survey with pictures using the following 5 questions. So you can use this home visitation survey. These are the 5 questions based on the Purpose-Driven Church of Pastor Rick Warren, author of Purpose-Driven Life. So these are the 5 questions. First is, what do you think is the greatest need in your area? So you make a survey in your purok, no? And then number 2, are you actively attending any church? Number 3, you ask the question, why do you think most people do not attend church? And number 4, if you were to look for a church to attend, what kind of things would you look for? And number 5, what could I do for you? What advice can you give to a minister who really wants to be helpful to people? So for advanced reading, you may now read this one for the first quarter. Read the human community, questions 401 to 414 in the compendium of the Catechism of the Catholic Church. So there will be exam on the next class in this advanced reading about the human community, CCCC 401 to 414. So thank you guys. See you on the next video.